So the PlayStation Portal is out, but is it really worth buying? That's what I want to talk about today as I show you the pros and cons, how to set it up, connection, how it feels in the hand, and most importantly, how does it feel to play on the PlayStation Portal? I'm going to try to give you everything that you need to know about one of these because as hard as these things are to get right now, it may be worth it for you to, keep trying to get one or maybe go with another option. Either way, I'm going to tell you my experience straight up. So no matter if you're looking at getting one of these, maybe you already have one, maybe I solidified your opinion or changed it altogether, whatever your opinion is, I want to hear it after the video. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like what I do, consider subscribing. Let's go and get into it. Now, as far as connecting to your PlayStation at home, there's only a couple things that you have to do. You want to enable remote play on your PlayStation, and you want to make sure that it's in rest mode and it can connect to the internet while it's in rest mode and you're away from it. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind too is that if you don't do anything with it within like 30 seconds, it's going to cut off on you. So you want to keep that in mind as well. I was just connected. It takes about a minute to actually connect here, and then we can go through the process and start playing. A couple of features about the PlayStation Portal itself is it feels just like a PlayStation controller, right? It has the DualSense, it has the haptic feedback, the triggers, the buttons, your joysticks, they all push in just like you would expect on a normal PlayStation. The only thing it's really missing is the touchpad, but you got a big touch screen to kind of take its place. Now, I've noticed like when I'm playing, I don't know, Call of Duty and you're trying to pull up the leaderboards or something, normally you would touch in the touchpad and then go over to scoreboard, whatever. Maybe things like that I haven't been able to actually do, but for the most part, you can do everything on this that you can on a normal PS5. So, ready to play? I'll go ahead and put in my password. So, you have a mute button up here. We actually have our start button up here. We have a share button here. Here's our PlayStation button. Now up at the top, we have our speakers, and then we have our volume buttons on the right-hand side. It actually has pretty decent speakers in it for what it is. Power button right here. Now this button right here will allow us to connect to the, the PlayStation earbuds that they released alongside of this. I think they're called the Pulse earbuds. And then underneath, if you don't want everybody hearing you, go crazy in Texas Chainsaw or Call of Duty, you can actually hook up to your regular headset right in here, and then you have your charging port underneath. A little inconvenient to get under there, but it's not a huge issue. Now, if we need to go in and change any kind of settings on our system, right now my system at home 300 miles away is on, it's running, okay? So no problem there. We have all of our games, of course, and we can pretty much do what we want. You can hear that speaker coming through with the pregame, and that was halfway up. You can hear it turned all the way up. It's actually really loud, so the speakers are really decent in this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a game of Modern Warfare 3. Look at the screen right now. Get a mental image, or maybe check mark or bookmark this part of the video, because this will probably be the only time in this game session where it's this clear. I mean, it looks just like the PlayStation. The problem is, well, I'll tell you the problem here in a minute. Now, if you're playing Call of Duty and you're used to playing with a SCUF controller like I am, I tried to actually hook my SCUF up to this. I don't think it's possible. It would take away a little bit of the portability of it, but you just kind of have to get used to it. Let's go into just a multiplayer match. And there you go. I mean, you can see it is crystal clear. What about the connection? Like I said, I'm on my mobile hotspot on my cell phone. Right now I'm at 17 ping, so that's pretty good. 30 ping. Typically around 30 ping I get into a match. There we go. So the responsiveness, like I said, it's just like the PlayStation. I mean, there's literally no difference up to this point. What about the lag in the game? Let's see. Now, one thing I have to go ahead and say is that this controller and these controls I am not used to. I'm so used to using paddles now. The sensitivity actually feels way different on this thing as well. And there we go. Escape that kill. So, all right. So I'm not this bad at Call of Duty, I swear, but it does take me a game or two to kind of just get in the rhythm with this thing because it does feel wildly different than just playing on a, even a 27-inch monitor, which is what I normally play on. Okay, let's see if I can. First game of the day, boys. Oh, maybe that guy was on a portal as well. It takes some getting used to, y'all. It really does. I kind of have to get right up on this thing, which is how I play my normal PlayStation 2. I've kind of always been like that. I got to get right up on it, This guy's going to be waiting on me right here. Oh, cool. I think the best game I had on this thing was I went 20 and 20. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I find myself just kind of, instead of trying to play fast, just slowing it down, pre-aiming everything, even pre-firing to an extent, and just, with this game specifically, it feels different on Texas Chainsaw as well, but it's not as much of an adjustment as a fast-playing game like this. I turned my sensitivity down just a little bit, by the way, and it does help, but it still feels just, like I said, so much different. So I think I play on 7 at home on my normal PS5. Here I'm playing on 6. I tried it on 4, and it was just way too slow. It actually felt laggy at 4. But that's probably because I'm so used to playing on a little bit higher sensitivity. Let's see if I can get this guy. He might come around to my right. Oh, there we go. Yeah, normally I wouldn't play like this. I would have been done moved around and, and tried something else instead of staying in one spot like a noob. Precision is where I think the word that I'm lacking. I think that's what I'm lacking here, is just precision. Look at all my dead bodies right there. Both those bodies are mine. And I'm about to get another one. Oh, thank God. And with a little bit of practice, I mean, that's all it really takes. Just like with anything. I just want you guys to get an idea, for at least for me, how much different this actually plays. You may get on this thing and you may be like, oh, this is like second nature. I mean, this is just like what I play on at home or whatever. Maybe you pick it up quick.
It's definitely different to go from a huge screen to this teeny screen.
I don't even think it's that, because typically on a smaller screen, I will play better because it's less things to look at. But what's really hurting me is just simply the controller part of it. Playing with that scuff for so long, it's literally changed the way I play. And I think maybe too, one of the things that you'll notice, because your sticks are so far apart compared to a normal PlayStation, it does affect, I think, how your hands actually move. Should have never lost that.
Well, to me, just playing Texas Chainsaw on this was totally different.
Right. But overall, really responsive. Like, I don't feel any kind of lag right now. I don't feel like, oh my God, this thing is so bad, like it's unplayable. I feel like it's pretty good as far as that goes. Okay, so we finished our first game here, and just to give you an example, the first game always plays really good. I'm running 27 ping, no packet loss, everything. I mean, it's just perfect. If I can get used to the controls here, I feel just as competent to an extent. 7 and 14, it's awful. But I feel just as confident on this thing, really, for the most part, as I do on my PlayStation. The clarity is just spot on. Like I said, it's a little bit different playing with your hands this far apart, but the sticks feel nice, triggers feel nice. Once you get used to it, and if you're playing like, single player games or something, it's going to be a little bit easier to kind of get into the swing of it. Here's where the problem lies though, and this is the problem that I've had, and this is kind of why I feel like you have to invest more into the portal for the internet side. Okay, starting to drop. All right. So now you can tell, hopefully it's translating on your screen as well, that the quality has dropped significantly. And by the way, I tried this at nighttime. And so, I mean, you can see just how bad it's like 360p. We're like back in 1995 again. But it's come on, baby, come on, baby. Oh, got him. Ooh.
Yeah, I see it's lagging too.
But you can see just how much of a difference. I don't even know if that's a person. So what I did is I kept trying this at nighttime, and I was like, okay, there's probably a lot more people obviously on. It doesn't make sense to me that the first game plays really well and the second game plays like this. I'm still running 25 ping, but the quality is just not there. And now it's lost connection to the PlayStation because of my internet connection. So the first game plays really well, second game plays like crap. And so now I'm playing in the middle of the day where there's not a lot of people on, or less people should be on right now, and I'm having the same issue. Now it's trying to reconnect to my PlayStation 5. The battery life as well. I think since I charged this up, I've played probably 6 to 8 games of Call of Duty. A couple hours really is kind of what I've gotten out of this. I don't know how long this last bar of battery is going to last me, but the battery life is okay. You can charge it while you play as well if that's something you want to do. All right, it reconnected. Let's see how the quality is now. It's pretty bad. So basically, the only way I found to fix this, because it's not like when it restarted, it just, it got connection again, and now the quality is perfect. The only way that I found to actually fix this is to restart the PlayStation and go back through the process again. So if you're playing with friends on this, then you're gonna basically have one match with your friends and have to back out. So this is the problem that I've had on the mobile hotspot, and my internet connection on my phone is really solid, no problems there. So I think if you're gonna play on something like this, probably having a portable router, maybe even a laptop, in a way that you can actually, agree to the terms, and then that way you can get a better connection because the phone just is not cutting it here. For 200 bucks, these things are solid. Trying to find one for 200 bucks right now is a freaking nightmare. Feels like the PlayStation 5 all over again. Scalpers are obviously, doubling the price, sometimes more of these things. And it's just kind of sucks on that front. So overall, what do I think about the PlayStation Portal? I think that the screen is really nice. I think that it feels pretty good in the hand. It's got some weight to it, but it also feels like a quality unit. I also like the fact that the screen is much bigger than something that you're going to get on like a backbone where you're going to use your phone. And, phones are fairly large these days, but at the same time, it's nice that you have a full 8-inch display that looks really good when your connection is strong. The functionality, being able to save your gameplay and being able to mute and unmute, the speakers are really good on this thing. But remember that you're going to want to probably invest something else into it, like, a portable router, maybe even bringing a laptop with you if you go out of town and you don't have ideal circumstances as far as a Wi Fi connection. The lack of a web browser really means that you got to go through extra steps in order to connect to hotel Wi Fi, which always makes you go to a website, accept their terms to be able to connect. But overall, a backbone is 100 bucks. This one's $200, and I'd say overall, with the familiarity of the PS5 and everything this thing has to offer, as long as you have a good internet connection, it's definitely worth the money. There's some cons that go along with it, but overall, I really like it. I'd love to hear your experience. If you have a portal already or you're looking at getting one, let me know what you think about them down below. Big thanks to you guys for watching. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.